Okay.
Let's do it.
So, we are here with Mr. Proverb.
Yes.
This is the first, like, audio-visual thing that I'm doing. And
I'm a pioneer.
I'm super excited. This is a guy that I go way back with. So, firstly, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr.
And,
RJ Benjamin.
Yeah, and thanks for doing this. I'm sure my fans are quite happy to see someone of your caliber sitting across from me.
Ah, yeah.
Apparently that's an RJ special.
Yes.
Okay, I have some questions for you, my man.
Right.
And this is stuff that, you know, I've been meaning to ask you for years.
Nothing incriminating now that there's a camera.
You know, there is a jury that will assess what you're saying, and then you'll probably be on out on the streets with Julius Malema, you know, something
out
like
in
that.
the streets. Okay.
Something like that. Okay, so I got some questions for you. I'm going to hit them up straight away. What was a young Proverb like? When did the hip-hop bug bite?
Dude, that's interesting you say that, because I'm actually writing a song about that.
Okay,
so I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I was literally underachiever, no particular goals in life. You know, I was a bit of a spoiled brat. You know, my folks were at least in a position to take care of me. So, you know, I didn't have any reason to aspire for anything great. So academically, you know, I used to just go to school for the sake of going to school, but I had the opportunity to go to good school. So I didn't see opportunities for what they were, you know.
Okay.
So as a result, I kind of just cruised through life. Came to Joburg in '99 to study IT. This is now when I got exposed to your rap activity jams. You know, there was something called the first year's concert, and guys were rapping, freestyling.
And Joburg was pretty big with hip hop.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. This is actually when I saw it firsthand. I mean, I used to see music videos and all that, but you never thought local guys were doing their own thing until I came to Jersey. That's when I was like, and you know what? This is when it got my attention.
Okay. I mean, I can even remember, like, Allenby days.
Yeah.
When, like, there were guys sort of standing on those steps by the canteen in a circle doing, like, these
ciphering and battling and freestyling, right?
Yeah.
This was the thing, man. And Jersey is where it was happening.
Yeah.
And you know how it starts. You first attracted to this thing. What is it? You intrigued.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What are they talking about?
Yeah.
What's all that swearing about? Do you know what I mean?
How does that fit in with the...
Exactly. You kind of get in. Then you're like, are these guys making it up on the spot? Oh my gosh, it rhymes.
Well, I mean,
what? You know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, as a lyricist, for example, I'm looking at this going, how are these guys coming up with these words so
on the spot, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, intrigued by it, started trying it.
Yeah.
I guess I became relatively good at it, so to speak. You know, began holding my own at these kind of battles. You know, at the first year's concerts, would get a nice response. You know, and then the radio element came. Yeah. Where it was basically the same thing, just on a radio platform. So Rap Activity Jam was the place to be. You know, I remember the first time I went there, I was beaten by a bunch of kids wearing school blazers. I can't get that image out of my mind.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? But I came back, you start paying your dues, climbing the ladder. Before you know it, you develop a little bit of a name. Yeah. And the rest, as they say,
is history. Okay, well, let's just talk about Allenby a little bit.
Yeah.
So, okay, I remember in my first year of lecturing,
then
Allenby campus, and we all called you Steak.
Steak a boogie pig.
You're obviously a man of many nicknames, however. Because then suddenly you were Proverb.
Yes.
So now where did Proverb come from?
Yeah.
And any of these other interesting nicknames? I mean, like Steaks. I mean, are there any that we don't know about?
All right. Steak was my nickname because my initials are STT.
Okay.
So, you know, that's kind of, then it became, and my name's Tebogo.
Yes.
So it was, you know, T-bone, T-bone steak, then just steak.
Okay. Steak.
You know,
wow.
I honestly don't know how I even wore that proudly because I would introduce myself as that.
I think that's how you introduce yourself to me, man.
But Proverb, the alias, was always there when I started doing hip hop.
Yeah.
This is now after I had decided what I want to position myself as, you know, lyrically, that is, you know, which was about positivity, truth, wisdom, knowledge, whatever. So proverb was it. In fact, what I always say is, proverb by dictionary definition is a short saying stating the truth.
Yeah.
But the reason I always make the V a capital is to make two words. So a professional at verbalizing the truth.
That's awesome. Okay, one quick question.
Yeah.
Is it proverb or proverb?
It depends what context I'm in, you know. If I'm in an MC context, I'm inclined to say proverb.
Okay.
You know. But if I'm in, say, like an idols context or anything, I seem to be more inclined to say proverb.
Proverb. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Alrighty. So.
But I respond to either.
Okay.
I also respond to steak.
Great steak. At least now I know. So you know, because I was always like I was hesitant.
Yeah.
I'd walk up to her and be like, steak.
But in
you know,
public, though, you know, I'll first look around to see who's there before I say that's me.
Okay. Okay. Does anyone call you Tibble?
My mom.
Kind of like my mom calls me Roy.
Exactly. My wife when I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
You know. But not really, man.
When you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're in trouble a lot. It's not a question. But
No.
Okay, good to hear.
No.
Okay, so you studied sound engineering.
Yes.
This was obviously after IT, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. At was then, you know, what was then Allenby Cameron, that's where I met you. So, okay, what was the motivation then for studying sound? Why did you go from IT to sound?
Okay. See, I still came with that whole slapgat attitude, for lack of a better, you know. So I failed IT dismally. Even the year after that, I tried computer science at what was Midrand University.
Yeah.
It's now Institute of whatever,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Again, failed dismally. But, you know, my mom always noticed one thing about me. I was always on my computer making beats, making music. You know, I was into this whole rap thing.
Yeah.
And she introduced the concept of sound engineering to me. And even still, I was never really convinced by it until I enrolled.
Okay.
Then, for the first time in my life, man, I blossomed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think because suddenly a world opens to you. Like all that stuff that you're programming, you can now figure out, okay, well, how can I improve that sound?
Exactly.
How can I learn more about programming?
Exactly, and I didn't even realize this was something you could study, you know. But once I enrolled, man, I took to it like a moth to flames. Do moth take to flames? Is that saying right?
It's a famous saying. I would apply to that light thing. I don't know.
Or whatever,
Yeah,
sure.
you know.
But all in all, you know, I took to it, I blossomed, I went on to do so well that I was even employed to lecture part-time students.
Yeah, Allenby.
At Allenby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even realize that.
That's it.
Okay. Great.
So I
man.
used to, you know, in the daytime, Vinay and I, a good friend of mine, I met at LMB,
Yes.
would obviously attend our classes. Then in the evening, would actually supervise all the part-time guys.
I see.
That's sort of how much I took to it. You know?
You must have learned a lot by teaching. I found it made such a big difference to me.
Oh, 100%, because, you know, you almost get a second chance to go through everything again because you're explaining it to somebody else. And you know when somebody asks you questions, they give you a different perspective. It's like, you know, I never thought about that. But now that you mention it, let's figure it out, you know.
Absolutely.
And so you learn. I even became a student advisor. Dude, it was crazy.
Yes, you were, man.
You remember that?
Wow, you were wearing like suits and stuff. I remember.
Yep.
That's incredible.
You know? I'm
Okay.
telling you.
But I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that means that you're not just a presenter or an MC or whatever the case may be. I mean, you're also an sound engineer.
You know, I did that for a long time. That's the one and only thing I'm qualified in.
Okay.
I have a diploma in sound engineering.
Yeah.
Because I then went on to be a technical producer at YFM.
Okay.
Got my first producing job for DJ Fresh. So I used to do all his jingles, all his promos. I have a fascinating story I have to tell you about. how I
Go
got
for it.
that
Tell me,
job.
man.
All right, DJ Cleo, who coincidentally was also at LMB,
And
but he was,
those were the DJ's All-Star Superstar Cleo. I remember.
but he was. You see, that was before my time, though.
Ah, okay.
Now he used to be a technical producer for DJ Fresh.
Yes.
Now the day I was sort of loitering around YFM, I had learned that he had just left.
There was
the
that
breakfast
whole
show.
controversy.
Well, yeah, the story we won't get into. Let him
Let's-
explain that when you
sure,
have him
for
on.
sure.
But ultimately, so the day I approached DJ Fresh, I said to him, I know, I have it on good authority that you don't have a technical producer right now. And he was like, how do you know? Because I just met him downstairs. You know what I mean?
What time?
And that's, my friend, how I got that job at YFM. Anyway, so
small industry, man.
became a technical producer. So yes, sound engineering is something that was a part of, I guess, my coming up.
Yeah.
And to date, I still record myself every now
Okay.
and again. I still can. I still use Cubase. I still
Yeah.
use a lot of what I learned at LMB.
I think having those tools is so awesome for an
Oh, yeah.
artist.
That's
Really
it.
is.
Agreed.
All right. So many people in SA know you more as an MC than
Right.
an MC. If you get my point.
I do.
When did this whole journey as the presenter MC start?
You know what? This was actually all run about the same time, believe it or not.
Okay.
Because I released my first album, The Book of Proverb, in 2003.
Yeah.
That was the same year I got my first presenting gig on Channel O. And I used to...
Nice stroke of luck, man. Well, let's say you were blessed, but I mean,
Well,
it's-
sure. Okay, there was plenty luck, and I was very blessed. But let me tell you, just to go back a little bit, once I got IT right, and I actually began getting things right in my life, you
Yes.
know, and succeeding at something,
Mhm.
I kind of, it started a snowball effect of just motivation and just going after everything.
Yeah.
So I was in a different mind frame then.
Yeah.
I was no longer the slaphat lady from Kimberley, you know. Plus then, you're 21, 22, 23, your folks start saying, hey, listen,
Time to
you're
move
on your
out of
own
the
now.
house, yeah.
You know, you get kicked off the medical aid. I remember that being a disastrous day for me when I was told I'm off it now. Anyway, so
Yeah.
so I went for an audition at Channel O.
Yeah.
Got picked as one of the presenters. That was the same era as your Nontle Temas, your Kabelos, your Graces.
Okay.
Although Grace and Kabelo were a generation before me, we kind of found them there.
Okay.
But they had taken over from your Fat Joes and those guys.
Right.
So we were sort of the new wave of presenters. So I did do it. The only thing though is, because it was a hip hop show that I was presenting, I was still sort of very much, oh, he's just a rapper.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And never thought of as a presenter so much. Or
Okay, so they linked you with the hip hop show.
That's it.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you really learnt the skills from those Channel O days.
Oh yeah, 100%. So by the time, I mean, we're obviously skipping a lot of things, but by the
Yeah.
time I got to Idols, I had been in the grooming or in the making.
Yeah.
It's just that I had still been very much boxed, and I also was boxing myself for a long time. In fact, I once said to my manager who sent me for the Idols audition that there's no way they'd take a chunky rapper dude from Kimberley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his whole thing was, look, dude, if you're a presenter, you should be able to present anything. So came with a bit of adjustment. Had to switch up my swag. The cap had to come off. The pants had to be pulled up.
The suit.
The suit had to then come on. I had to now iron the shirt. You know what I'm saying? All those things.
Oh man, must be tough at first.
It was, but it was a welcome adjustment. Also because, as far as my age, I'm also a little bit older now.
Yes.
I think I'm no longer backpacking MC trying to.
And you're not
battle
one of those
things all
guys.
day.
You've certainly grown. I think.
You know what I mean? So I think as you grow, so what you take on needs to grow with you. So I think your career needs to grow with you.
Yeah, you
So it
can't
was a
stay
very
young
welcome.
forever.
Exactly. It was a welcome change. Couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, man. It's and you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
But we will get back to it.